What you got there, George?
It's my spare tire, brand new. And it's the same kind as the one that I bought a few days ago, used. On a big tour like we're doing, you should always have a spare, especially if you have two bikes with the same size tires. So just getting us ready for our departure from Progreso. I just pumped up Barbara's bike tires. We stayed here 6 nights, believe it or not. Now I gotta do mine. I got a used tire on mine, and I now have a spare tire.
George is pumping up our tires, getting us ready for the road.
So that's it, we're all packed up. See, I got the funny looking thing on my back, spare tire. You know, it's a cheap one. I have had good experience with cheap ones. You can leave me a comment, but this one, it says that the weight is only rated for 90 kilograms. Well, I never looked at this before, really. My bike's quite heavy, but they all have always been sufficient for riding. Aside from our ultimate destination, Cancun, Progreso is the last beach community we were gonna stay at. We're on our way to an area that's called Anillo de Cenotes, but this was gonna take us 2 days to get there. For today, we're looking for a town called Tishkokob. First, we have to find that highway. Just looking for signs now because we have to turn south at some point. It seems like the street numbers here don't match what was on the Google map anymore, and half the streets don't have any anyways. So you never know here. Thank you. As it turned out, the Google map was correct. We found the street, but there's no sign to where it goes or that indicates that this is the highway. But I had to stop and ask someone, so we're on the right track. You wouldn't know it from this footage, but as soon as we turned onto that highway and left town, we were fighting against the wind, and it was brutal. Passing by a Parque Eólico. Those reflectors on the road, when you're right on it with the bike, they drive me nuts. Yeah, today we have a headwind, and the sun is pretty intense most of the time, and well, the highway is kind of boring too, but it's kind of safe because we have a shoulder that we're riding on and traffic is not heavy, so that's the good side of it.
It's 22 and it's gonna hit 27 in about an hour.
We didn't know it at the time, but at this point we had already missed a crucial turn of our route. The town of Concal should have been straight ahead. Instead, we had to turn left. In the end, it wasn't a big detour. but we entered Concal from a different direction than we had thought. In a small Mexican town, it is never too hard to find El Centro. You have a park, and a cathedral, and a city hall. The impressive church of Concal dates back to the 17th century. Let's have a look at it from up above. Now we're looking at the main street and the Palacio Municipal, the city hall. Barbara by the bush. So I think I finally know how to say the name of the town we're looking for. It's called Xixcocob. Before I couldn't get decent directions because I forgot the name, period, and then when I remembered it I didn't know how to say it because it's Mayan. And now we're on the right track, but I'm not sure if that's the most direct way, but it's what everybody keeps telling us. So we'll follow it. Yeah, we just come across this, what looks to be a pyramid. It's like right in the middle of nowhere between two towns here. But yeah, we don't really have any time and there's nobody here for us to check it out. So we're just gonna keep going after Barbara takes a little breather in the shade. After this overpass, we were trying to find a turnoff to get the direct route to Xixcocob. However, it didn't seem to exist. You have to go via Yaxcucul, locals told us. It was easy to find and the road was good, but I knew it was a detour for us. Well, at this point we were really hungry and we figured there had to be a place we could eat a good meal in this little town. We were wrong, but not entirely. Well, there definitely wasn't a restaurant. No such thing. Finished mine. So we arrived here in this little village, Yaxcucul, I think it's called. I still can't say it. And we asked if there was a place we could eat, and turned out there wasn't really. But these people just pulled out some food and put a table right on the street. This lady is Marlene. She runs the local store here. She also owns this table. And it was this lady who donated the Chinese food. I'm embarrassed to admit that I never got her name. Marlena, este lado nos invita para bebidas y una mesa. Me gusta mucho. Yaxcocul, Yucatan may not be a town that anyone's ever heard of, but I can tell you the people here have a heart. We were re-energized, now going toward Tishkokob finally. And again we had to ride against the wind. There was another little village to pass through before we finally reached our destination for the day. You might be wondering why we picked Tishkokob for our destination. Well, there was a hotel on the Google map. That's why. So we found a hotel room in Tishkokob. This is our hotel. That is the sky. So our hotel that we're staying at, they only have 4 rooms, they're all full, but they're building it upstairs and it's not finished yet. But 100 pesos got us in. We need to use our tent though, and we got a shower and we got a toilet we can use, so it's almost like the Hilton. Almost. As rough as this may look, the staff was amazing. Here you see Julio installing our light. We're gonna go out to eat now. I'm gonna have to close the light in our room, turn off the light.
Shouldn't get lost.
Yeah, we will not get lost. And here's Anna behind the front desk. We are in a town called, I think I said it probably 10 times already, and 10 times it probably was the wrong pronunciation. Tishkokob. There you go. Tishkokob. Like I posted the map here just so you can see. We are in a place that has no hotel for us, but we've got a room. Sort of. No roof. Well, it's got a window. It was a rough day on the road because it was hotter today than it's been for probably the past week.
53 kilometers, and I'm like amazed that I'm still alive.
And most of it was against the wind. That could happen again tomorrow. We just don't know. If you'd like to know how our night in our luxury room turned out, well, subscribe to my channel so you won't miss the next episode. I also hope you give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for that. It always helps.